While a man was urinating, he suddenly noticed a beautiful woman asleep in a car on a desolate mountain. This instantly aroused his lust. So he prepared to pull open the car door and climb inside, but the very next second, the girl suddenly woke up. After all, this was the middle of nowhere, there was no one around. Terrified, the girl immediately screamed at him to leave. However, the man outside wasn't scared at all. In fact, his attitude became even more brazen. Terrified, Amy quickly honked the car horn, trying to scare the man away. Little did she know that in the wilderness, the sound was exceptionally piercing, and it instantly enraged the man outside the car. Fortunately, a bearded man soon walked over. When Amy saw someone approaching, she thought she was saved, but as he drew closer, she realized the bearded man was actually in cahoots with the other man. This instantly left Amy at a loss for what to do. But before she could react, the bearded man aimed his weapon at her. Fearing for her life, Amy didn't dare honk the horn again. She had no choice but to obediently get out of the car. It was clear from her soaked pants that, faced with the threat, she had wet herself out of fear. Just as she thought her fate was sealed, her father, who was not far away, heard the car horn from earlier. He quickly handed his youngest son to his wife and rushed back to where the car was parked. But since he was completely unprepared, he was immediately knocked unconscious by the thug. Meanwhile, the mother had also returned to the tent, hid her youngest son inside, and then rushed to where her eldest daughter was. The mother screamed at her daughter to run away quickly, but the very next second, the bearded man fired a shot into the air, threatening that if she dared to run any further, he would shoot her parents dead. With no other choice, she had no option but to surrender. Little did she know that it was precisely because of this that the family would suffer such torment. With their hands tied by the assailants, they were led to the base of a large tree before the couple could figure out what the criminals intended to do. One of them placed a soda can on the father's head and raised his gun, aiming at the can. Clearly, the criminal wanted to practice his shooting skills, but before he could pull the trigger, the father, overcome by nervousness, knocked the can to the ground. This enraged the criminal, who kicked him viciously. He then placed the can back in its spot, but unexpectedly, the can fell to the ground again. This instantly sent the hot-tempered criminal into a rage. Without a word, he aimed at the husband's head, watching her husband die right before her eyes. The wife instantly broke down and began to struggle, but in the middle of nowhere, her resistance was utterly futile. Yet the criminals weren't about to let it go. After confirming that both were dead, he finished off the girl, who had wet herself from fear, then turned and left that scene of chaos. He thought the whole family had been taken care of, but when they returned to their tent, they discovered the family still had a young son, yet the tent was completely empty. It turned out that when the young son saw his mother wasn't in the tent, he stumbled off to look for her. Just as the little boy was about to collapse from exhaustion, a woman arrived at the remote mountain campsite. He tried to run after her for help, but Lisa didn't even notice him. It turned out Lisa and her boyfriend had come here to camp, but unfortunately, they'd gotten a flat tire. It wasn't until her boyfriend sent her to look for a piece of wood that the couple discovered the unconscious little boy. Luckily, her boyfriend is a doctor. It turned out the kid had just passed out from exhaustion, but finding a child like this in the